Hello, welcome to Lemonade Yoga. I'm Sandy Till. Today we'll work with shoulders and focusing in our next 30 minutes with working in the upper back and shoulders. I'd like to always remind you that if you ever run into a pain response or if something doesn't feel right for you in our practice, to modify, self-adjust, change, or just simply don't do the exercise or the move. We absolutely don't want you in a pain response. So, to begin class today, we'll come into a comfortable seated position. I'm choosing crisscross applesauce, and I'm away from the wall today. You're welcome to lean against a couch or a wall, or even lie on the floor for the breathing exercise. So start with getting as comfortable as you can. Bring your shoulders over your hips if you're seated. Bring your ears back over your shoulders. And then soften your gaze. So maybe you close your eyes, or maybe you just look down at the floor. But turn your attention now to your breath. Feel your inhale, then your exhale. We'll go for about 6 breaths here. I'd like you to pay attention to where you feel your breath moving as it enters your body. Can you feel the oxygen coming in through your nose, down through your esophagus and your throat, and into your lungs and expanding in there? As you exhale, feeling for getting completely empty. Maybe drawing the belly back towards the spine at the end of exhale to empty out the lower lungs. Yoga, by definition, is to me anyway, by definition, is very much moving with your breath. And so the goal here is to coordinate your movements and your conscious awareness with your breath together. Those things create a very mindful practice and one that will allow you to be aware of what's working in your body and what's not. So that's why we always begin with breath and why I say inhale and exhale a lot. Next, I'd like you to bring your awareness to your shoulders. So if it helps you bring your hands onto your shoulders, do that. But taking another 5 breaths here and just feeling for what your shoulders are doing today. Do you have pain? Is there any movement that it does that you don't like? Maybe it kind of hikes up this way, or your elbow might hurt. To me, that's kind of within this realm of consideration. Maybe you just have general tension, or maybe you don't have any pain at all, and that's great. What I'd like you to do is feel for what the shoulders feel like now, so that you can compare that to how they'll feel after our sequence. Next, we'll move into a seated side bend with 2 positions today. So maybe take your legs out from there and just roll them a little bit to start with. And then choose your leg shape for your side bend. It could be one leg out like this and one knee bent, or you could sit crisscross or feet together. I'm going to go back to crisscross, and I'm going to start with my right leg in front. So I might switch that when I go to the other side. So for the 2 arm positions, we'll do extended and then hand on the hip. So starting with your right hand down, we'll walk it out onto your fingertips, and then coordinating your breath with your movement. Inhale and lift your left arm up, extending it over the ear. Exhale, roll the shoulder forward and just gently reach out through the arm. Holding each posture for 4 to 6 breaths. Maybe here letting the neck relax. If you get a pain response in your neck, I invite you to find a neutral place for it. Reach actively through your fingers. And bring your breath right into the open side of your body. This is my left side right here. So bringing my breath kind of in that direction physically, into the left lung, more than the right lung. And then moving into hand on hip for this side. We'll bring the arm up on inhale. And on exhale, find the hand onto the hip, relaxing the shoulder. And I habitually relax my neck because that's what I was trained to do. But again, be neutral in the neck, look up if that's your training, but find a pain-free place for your head to be while you're in your side bend. Every exhale, feel for relaxing the shoulders down the back and softening the upper shoulder. To come out of that, take your arm out and just pull with that arm to help get yourself right up to seated. Take a moment to feel what that did to you, left and right side. And then I'm going to switch the crisscross of my legs. So now my left leg is in front, just for a little variety. And then taking my left hand out onto the fingertips, inhaling, reaching the right arm up now. Extended arm. So I'm reaching that top arm forward. I like to roll the shoulder forward and reach out through the arm. From there, find your neck neutral or relaxed. Focus another 3 breaths here. Now into your right side body. Right lungs. And using your exhale as a point of guidance for relaxing, for letting go of stress and tension. As you exhale, soften the neck, soften the shoulders, and just allow some of that extra energy to just ease right out. Going to hand on hip, reaching the arm up on inhale, and bringing the hand to the hip on exhale. Again, maybe the neck is more neutral and up. Maybe you can relax it down to the side. You can also roll the chin forward. Your neck and your shoulders are pretty intricately entwined, so take good care of them today in this class. And coming out of that posture, you'll take your arm up, and as you inhale, pull yourself up, feeling for that breath support. So when you move with your breath, you'll feel like an extra bit of intelligence, of internal wisdom kind of combining with your movements. Twist is next. So we'll do classical spinal twist here. I'll start with my left leg straight and my right knee up. Now, this one can be done with the foot here, right, straight ahead. You can also crisscross the foot over the knee. And you can also, if you're quite flexible, bring the straight foot underneath of you. So that's kind of a twisty shape, but classical spinal twist is in this leg shape. And what we'll do is hand and elbow over the knee first. So taking my right hand behind me, I'll take the hand over the knee, take an inhale, and as I exhale, I'm just going to pull with that front arm to spiral my spine. When you're twisting, make your spine twist from the mid and upper back more than the low back. Second hand position is elbow over knee. So if you can have the elbow hook onto the knee, then try that. And releasing from there. Gently bring the legs out. And now you've worked your hips a little bit. So get a moment here in between to feel for moving them a little like this and feeling for the heat and that you're generating there. Second side. I'm going for my full bind here, my full twisted legs shape. Just a little bit challenging for me today. Left hand back. Hand over the top of the thigh is a great position. So an inhale, I like to lift the ribs upward. On exhale, pull the front arm a little to help send your body into the twist. I like to keep my neck neutral, straight in the center of my chest. A lot of practices have you looking over your shoulder. So if that's in your practice or you like the way that that feels, by all means do that. Now moving to elbow over the knee, gently bringing the elbow onto the knee. And with this one, you can push the elbow into the knee to spiral into the twist. So that's a leveraging point. Gently press your legs into the ground when you're working in a seated shape to help lift up out of the spine and the belly. And then moving to front of the knee action. So grabbing the hand to the front of the knee, take a breath in, and as you exhale, gently pull from the front. Now this one is a different action for the shoulder, and so looking for what feels best for you. So ideally your chest is nice and broad as you're twisting and working with your chest, or your shoulder rather. And any of these shapes are great. So if you find one that you really like, you can pick that and stay there. Now elbow over the knee. And this one I like to hook and kind of lean back a little. And that's a tractioning right here in the shoulder, which feels nice. You notice in twists that your breathing is a little bit more challenged for the belly area, so you might need to work your breath into your upper back, upper lungs. And then easing out of that, gently come on out. And again, move the legs, because that's a lot for the hips. And just feeling what you've done. We'll move to our easy abs next, easy abdominals. So I'll do these almost every single class because I just think it's the best abdominal exercise ever, and it's super simple. So lying flat onto your back. I like to do this with my knees up and my feet flat. Clasp your hands behind the base of your skull and getting your shoulder blades down the back. Your elbows will cradle the weight of your head. So don't be stretching up and lifting with the neck. Feel for using just your abdominals to do this. So we'll do 6 rounds, starting with an inhale, pressing gently the low back into the mat. And on exhale, lifting the left knee over the hip and reaching both elbows in that direction. Inhale, back to center. Keeping your low back down as best you can. Exhale to the right. Back and forth. If you can get your shoulder blades off the floor, that's great. If you can't quite yet, that's okay. If you want a harder exercise, then leave your shoulder blades off the floor like this. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling all the way over. Have full, complete breath. So big breath in. Full, complete exhale. Big breath in. Complete exhale over. And to the right. And releasing from there. I think that's 6 rounds. The next thing we'll do is forearm plank. So from here, gently roll on over. And we'll move on to the stomach. And there's 2 ways to do forearm plank. You can do it with
the knees down like a modified push-up, or you can do it with the knees up. So start with your hands around your triceps, measuring your arms, so you have a good stance. You don't want the elbows way out or too close in, so just right. Straight out in front, if you're feeling strong. If your shoulders are a little bit compromised, or you have pain, or you're feeling like you need a little bit more support, you could do this with your hands clasped together, and you might find it just a bit easier. So from here, I'm going to peel up onto my knees and press the elbows into the floor. And this would be the modified version. So I would want to hold this for 4 to 6 breaths. Just working on strength here. Now, if it's easy for you, you can lift the legs up and try to make your body flat, straight. Hold here. If it's easy for you, you can lift one leg on either side for an equal breath count. If it's getting hard for you, like it is for me, then you can put the knees down and stay in the pose. So the magic of down leveling for yourself is that you can stick in there and you'll get stronger. Now we're doing this to warm up the shoulders. So if at any point you get into a shoulder pain here, then come out, take a break, and then see if you can come back in without pain. So sometimes you just need a break. Okay, and then laying down, coming out of that, just take a moment and a breath. Then we'll move into unwinding the shoulders. So coming right back on up to seated again. The next exercise is unlocking the shoulder. And this one, I will actually kind of do a sideways angle. We're working really right here in the shoulder girdle. So starting with one arm up at like a 90-degree angle. Bring your fingertips to the border of the shoulder blade, the outside border. Taking a breath in, bring the shoulder blade down and press the finger kind of back into that bone to engage the musculature in the shoulder blade. This is less of a yoga pose and more of an active release pose, but it's so very helpful for the shoulders that I just love to teach it. Next, bring your hand to the inside of the elbow. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, gently press the hand and the elbow together. Gentle. You don't want pain here. You just want to feel your muscles working in a very specific direction. Okay, I'm going to leave my hand at the elbow, taking a breath, looking at my shoulder here. Bring the shoulder blade on exhale down, and then scoop the elbow away from you, forward. And release. So that's one side, and then we'll do the second side. Now the other arm is up right at 90 degrees, so square. The elbow in front of the shoulder, level with the shoulder, and then this hand also level with the elbow. Fingers to the shoulder blade. Take a breath here. On exhale, bring the shoulder blade down and push your fingers back into the shoulder blade bone and feel for the muscles contracting in the shoulder blade. All kinds of stuff going on there. And then moving your hand to the elbow. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, gently press the elbow and the hand together. So an equal resistance. Feeling for engaging the front of your chest muscles. Pec minor. And then going for stacking the moves, taking another big breath in. On exhale, draw the right shoulder blade down the back, and then reach the elbow forward, creating some spaciousness in the shoulder joint there. And release. Go ahead and take a moment to notice the spaciousness that makes in your shoulders. And then we'll do both arms at the same time, just for a few breaths.
So now bringing both elbows up. Take a big old breath in. On exhale, bring the shoulder blades down the back, learning how to get those shoulders out of the ears. And then as though you're squeezing a beach ball, turn on those chest muscles. And just feel for isometrically engaging the shoulders that way. Now, a lot of us do very funny things with our neck and our jaw when we're working on the shoulders. So if you are doing that, then catch yourself and just sort of ease that out and down. Now, those moves will layer into a lot of the practice that we do together. So shoulders down, really getting those shoulders down. The next exercise is modified eagle arms. Modified eagle arms is a modification from this very twisty action. So the normal posture would look something wild like this. And what I want to offer you today is a very modified version of that. So I'll have you start with your arms up, palms down, taking a breath in. Go ahead and crisscross your left arm over your right, and then just grab the back of your arm. That's your tricep. Taking another breath in. On exhale, pull the arm across you. Just feeling for getting a stretch across the outside edge of the shoulder blade. And again, keeping that shoulder down, out of the neck, getting the jaw out of that action. So our sequence built to this release. We did some warming and then we did some heating up of the shoulders. And what that does is it allows the muscles to get warm for lengthening. And release. Taking a moment to notice the difference between the left and right side from that work. Second side, arms up. Exhale, reach around, grab onto your bicep, and pull it across you, kind of away from you and across you. You don't want to be jamming your arm into your chest. As much as you can, we're looking to make space in the joints. A few deep breaths, really noticing where you can get some release there. I love to use my exhale as a point of release, so every exhale I'm letting go. Like I have trained myself over the last 20 years of doing yoga to let my exhale be my let go point. And releasing from there. Roll the shoulders, noticing what you've done. And next we'll move into neck release. So if ever you can't stand sitting like this, always change the way your legs are sitting. You can do all of this from a chair. You can sit up on a block. You could also support your knees or legs with the blocks or props that you have at home as needed. For neck release, this posture, you'll start with your palm down and just sit underneath of your side body. Square up the shoulders and taking a breath in. On exhale, we'll lean away from the hand. That'll pull the stretch right into the arm and upper shoulder, trapezius. And from here, pick what you can do with your neck. If you can let your neck relax over to the side, then do that. If you need to lift it up and be in a more neutral place, then that's fine. We'll do 3 breaths here. Every exhale, letting go of as much stress and muscular tension as you can. Chin down. Finding another angle, moving that stretch to the side of the neck here into your scalene muscles. Those are neck muscles that come down underneath there. Coming off of the hand you're sitting on, gently roll your head to the center and switch sides, palm down. Is the more intense position. If that really hurts your arm and hand, you could bring your palm up, and that would be less intense. So I'm going to do palm down today. Shoulders back, nice and squared up. Breath in. And on exhale, leaning, feeling your body stop you And then finding where your neck is most comfortable for 3 breaths. As you exhale, can you invite the muscles to soften and unravel? Second angle, on exhale, roll the chin forward a bit, finding a good spot for the neck and upper shoulder. And then coming out of the hand, lifting gently the head. I like to lift it with my hand. And then Shavasana. We'll have a shorter Shavasana today, but you can always rest longer after class is over. So lying back for Shavasana. Knees up if your low back is tender. Maybe hands on heart or belly or chest if you like. But feel in your resting posture for being as comfortable as you can. This is our time to integrate the work that we've done. Allow your breath to return to normal. If you're comfortable there, I invite you to rest longer. If you're ready to come on up, then gently wiggle your toes and your fingers and find your way over onto one side for a breath or two there. And then gently making your way up to seated. I like to close each class with a moment of gratitude and acknowledgement for ourselves. So thank you for your practice today.